What's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. Guys, I had this bias today, and I don't know. I just had this feeling that I was looking for a place to short crude oil. And all morning long, it didn't give me the opportunity to short, right? Like, had I been up super early in the morning, ready to trade, great sell-off here. And then right around 9 o'clock, the open here, we had this grand turnaround. And I'm sitting here and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting for this spot to short crude oil. Right? There's an area up here, 79, 79.10, that has just been getting hit, and continues to fall and fall and fall and fall. So I'm sitting on my hands and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. We had the inventory report rescheduled from yesterday to today based on Monday's holiday. So that hit at 11 o'clock. So I kind of knew that I had to wait for that to come and go and that reaction to be absorbed and blah, blah, blah before I was going to get this chance to try to short this market. At the same time, the market's trending higher. Right. So, but I have it in my mind, like, I know I've been watching crude oil. I trade crude oil exclusively for myself personally. Like, this is the market I trade. All right. I eat, sleep, breathe, live this one particular market. Now, I can read any chart the same as I read this one, but I really have just focused on one market. I've decided, over the course of my trading career, as I've traded so many different things, that this is the market I want to trade. All right. I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to wait. If the day goes by and I don't take a trade, I'm okay with that. But I have an intimate relationship with this market, right? You look at some of the best traders out there, like, they have an intimate relationship with one particular market. This is my market, okay? People ask me, why am I so passionate about crude oil? Because at the end of the day, nothing exists without it. Food doesn't exist without it. The crap you buy doesn't exist without it. The biggest companies in the world will not operate without it, right? So I don't care about Bitcoin. I don't care about Apple or Google. I don't care about corn. I don't care about any of that shit. Because without crude oil, none of that exists. So for me, I'm passionate about the one singular thing that matters more than anything else, essentially, on the face of this earth, because without it, nothing else exists, including our food. So, again, I have this passionate, intimate connection with this market. I come from the retail gasoline business industry. I understand how this product gets extracted from the ground, processed, turned into all these different things. So I really decided that I'm going to dedicate my career as a trader, basically till I put my foot in the grave, focus in on trading for myself personally, this one very particular market. Now, will I help anybody read any market? Of course I will. But when it comes to me, it comes down to this. So, again, I had been watching this area, knowing that if we got to it, probably going to pull back. Inventory report, as I mentioned, market really rotated pretty hard around 9 a.m. I think the crude opened. But there was something here that told me, hey, it's time to pay attention, right? Something very, very particular. And it's this one singular candle right here. This one right here. Let's see if I can put a mark on it. This candle said, hey, dum-dum, time to pay attention to what's happening in this market. Right? The reversal is a good chance that it's going to transpire somewhere in and around this area. And this particular candle is what said to me, hey, pay attention, right? If it's going to happen, we're going to look to qualify it to happen around this area, right? Now, we could have just catapulted higher. So now I don't just guess, right? Like, I'm not just guessing that this is the spot to short. I need the market now to prove it to me. I need the market to go, all right, we've come to the area that you're very interested in trying to short the market. But now the market needs to prove to me that it's going to go lower. And the way it proved to me was by a couple things. First, this very particular candle. I'm going to put a little zone around this candle, okay? I want you to just kind of notice something. I don't even need the body. I'll just use the wick. How's that? So all I'm looking at is the wick of this candle. Now I want you to notice something. This candle actually closed higher than it opened, okay? But it painted red based on a volume program that I have. Okay? Paints red. Tells me, hey, yes, this candle did close higher than it opened, but you should be aware that the majority of the volume traded in this 3-minute candle is bearish. Okay. Now, for me, that doesn't necessarily mean, all right, let me just YOLO it. I'll throw on a heavy short position here and see what happens, right? I'm now looking for confirmation. I know that this area, should it hold, meaning should we not violate it, more importantly, not close above 78.92, that we could rotate here. So now that I acknowledge the volume aspect, I look now to the price action aspect. And really, guys, it's super simple. I am basically looking for a break of some kind of very short-term support trend line, right? Like the market found support at this prior high. As it sold off out of this zone, really for the first time, the market found some support here, pushing us back in to make a shallower retest. Now the market closes below. Okay? Now I'm like, oh, this is great. All right, there's a really good chance that we're not going to violate this 78.92 area. Now I am a little concerned because up here at 79 bucks, there's like 230 contracts of liquidity, sitting orders, right? Probably heavy stop orders, okay? Probably a heavy load of stop orders here. So I am concerned that the market's going to seek that liquidity. However, on this run up, it had eaten layer and layer and layer of liquidity. And you could see that the market was getting exhausted, right? We had this really great pitch higher. We fell sideways. And this was like the climax. It was like, ugh, and it was over, right? It wasn't going any higher from here. So I didn't buy the breakdown, or sell the breakdown, I should say. I sold the retest of this area. All right, price falls down, kind of stumbles sideways, takes this dip, and then pulls back in. Not violating this little corrective trend line, right? So this is the trend line that we created, very short term. We broke it. We came back, retested the area that price fell from. We came maybe one tick from, or less than one tick roughly, from retesting this little reversal setup that I like to use. This is where I got short. All right? When this candle closed, testing this zone, closed out just outside of this zone, closed below this little corrected trend line, what was previously support has been broken and is now a pointed resistance. We had a high, a slightly lower high, and another slightly lower high. So to me, this is what I see. Right? This is what I see. Okay? Let me correct that just so it looks, right. There we go. So we're respecting this downward pressure. We're unable to regain the upside here. This is an area I've been waiting for all day. Right? Like this is 1:30 in the afternoon. I normally don't even trade this late in the day. But I knew that if we got here and we could confirm a reversal, that there was a pretty good chance that we could sell off. I mean, I just punched the sell market button here, right? And I pulled profits at 50, right at 50, okay? That's what I was looking for. I was looking for 50. Now, it did go a little bit lower. Let me zoom this out so you can see it. But it was the end of the day. I was just looking to be done. Where did I get out? Somewhere right around here. Right around, I think I pulled it at 55. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I pulled it at 55. There was a bunch of liquidity at 50. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get ahead of it. Let me get out of it. It's the end of the day. I have no intention of holding this, later. So 55 was my number. Like I said, I saw a bunch of liquidity. Here it is right here. I saw a bunch of liquidity, and I was like, let me just take it. We were approaching the rolling VWAP. I said, we're approaching 1430, which is 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's the close for the crude market, technically. And I was like, sometimes you get a little volatility in the close. I'm like, listen, I waited for this all day. I'm like, let me just take it and be done. And that's exactly what I did. And this is what it looked like. I didn't risk a whole lot here. Like, I really didn't. So I got in here at the close of this candle right here. I placed my stop 5 ticks over the high. The high was at 88. So what does that put me at? 93. Right? So 1 tick over the entire session high. And I pulled my profits down here at 55. Right there. I saw a bunch of liquidity at 50, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to partake in that liquidity. And you can notice that as we tested 50, we got a bunch of pushback here. So 30 ticks, 3.75 to 1 risk-reward ratio. I was risking 8 ticks. Right? Not so terrible. Did I wait all day for it? Yes. Does that suck? Yes. If you want to just take the highest quality trades, my plan today, this morning, when I did my pre-market setup, was that if we revisit these highs and I can prove that the market is going to turn back around in some fashion or another, that I am looking to short this area. Did I think it was going to take me all the way? So 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I did not. Okay? But I took a very small risk, knowing that either I was going to be right or wrong, risking 8 ticks. Okay? I knew there was liquidity at 79 round, over 200 contracts. Did I know that there was a risk that that liquidity was going to magnetically draw price higher? Yes. But we came up to that same level here twice, failed to go any higher. Distinctly, there was high selling volume in this particular candle that created my entire resistance zone, and price fell out. Now, I didn't buy the fallout. Why? Because this would have created much more risk. I bought the retest when I was able to prove my support line became resistance and my descending highs were no longer, or were not going to be violated, right? They were intact. High, lower high, lower high. Retest of the zone. This was the sell-off. Yes, I was in it from roughly 1:30 till about 2:15. Right? So 45 minutes roughly. 42 minutes, something like that. Okay? Did it take a little while? Yes. The risk was so small and price never went against me, right? I mean, I literally got filled right here. We had an impulse. We closed below this low. Made me feel really good about the position, saying, all right, there's a good chance that we're going to probably go lower. So we took the impulse. We took the correction. If you notice, we found resistance here at this pivot. Okay? So this area here that was previously support is now resistance, and the market pushed right in to, again, I was eyeing 50. There was a lot of liquidity. You could see that liquidity did cause a reaction, so I pulled my profit at 55. Guys, if you're willing to wait for the right setup, for your setup, Right? Every morning I start my morning with a plan. I literally pull out a piece of paper and I write that shit down. I write down all the times I want to avoid trading, economic news releases, inventory reports, opening bell, closing bell, crude market open, crude market close. Any volatility that could be outside instilled into the market that I can predict, I want to avoid those times and places. My plan this morning was to short crude upon retesting this area that we have found rejection time and time and time again. If I could prove that there was a potential for a reversal. Could I have been wrong? Absolutely. Would I have lost money? Yes. Notice my risk reward was 3.75 to 1. I simply looked at where the liquidity was. It was down here at 50. This looked like we really genuinely placed a top and we were going to fall back, and we did. And at 55, I pulled my profit. I waited all day for this setup. Guys, if you're going to play the market in a manner that you're in and out and in and out and in and out, and you like the game of being up and down and building your account and drawing it back down, if you like that, then God bless you. I hate it. I hate it. Am I going to lose? Yeah, I do lose, okay? I'll openly say it. Every trader does. But I genuinely wait. I sit on my hands and I wait for what I want. And if I don't get it, I won't take the trade. Guys, I have made and lost money that would make most people sick to even understand what that number is. In trading and in business, right? At this point in my life, after everything I've been through, I've gotten to a point where if it doesn't make absolute sense, then I'm not going to risk it. Right? And when you get to that place as a trader, as a business person, whatever in your life, in your relationships, whether it's business relationship, personal relationships, whatever it might be, you understand the value of the time and effort you've put into something, the investment of your life into something, that you're not about to take the risk, or you're not willing to take the risk. For me, I wasn't willing to settle for anything less than what I absolutely wanted. When I got it, I took the trade with confidence. And had I not gotten it, I just wouldn't have taken a trade at all. My cutoff, I will not take a trade after 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I know I'm rolling 30 minutes into the crude close at 2:30. So 2 o'clock, I'm done. Right? I had to get this set up before 2 o'clock. I got it at 1:27 in the afternoon. So I took it. I managed it. I sat through it. I waited hours to get what I want. If you're willing to do that, you will then become confident enough to put size on your trades, because you'll realize that you've waited for the highest quality setup. Is every trade going to work? No. If your risk is higher significantly, if your reward rather is higher significantly than your risk, you'll feel comfortable saying, okay, I'm going to risk 8 ticks to try to earn 30 ticks. If you're patient with the process, if you're patient with yourself, guys, you can do wonderful things in this industry. I don't share these videos with you for any other reason than I have made massive mistakes and learned extraordinarily hard lessons. And I'm trying to help you avoid that tough learning curve that I went through. So if you like this video, I encourage you to click that like button. If you like my content, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to talk to you. God bless, guys. I will see you in the next video.